I often tell myself, life be lifing. Now think about it. Think about life. You were captured by the enemy and you are a POW at the time. You captured by the enemy. Now is a ceasefire. And in the case of the ceasefire, the enemy release you back to your own people. Okay, but in the aspect of being released back to your own people, they gave you a white flag, you waving the white flag, and then what happens? You are still shot, but not by the enemy. You are shot by your own people. And that's what happened to Israel. Israel mistakenly shot their own POWs. They shot their own POWs. And this is just a sad set of circumstances that took place. And let's go ahead and play what actually happened so you can understand exactly what I'm referencing. All right, let's go ahead and play this video.
In the war between Israel and Hamas, Israeli troops mistakenly shot and killed 3 hostages today in Gaza City. That news came as Israel kept up an unrelenting bombardment of Gaza, and a top American envoy pressed them to curtail the combat. As Israel pounds the Gaza Strip with airstrikes and IDF troops advance on the ground, U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan today laid out his vision for the future of a more limited war.
There will be a transition to another phase of this war, one that is focused in more precise ways on targeting the leadership and on intelligence-driven operations that continues to deal with the ongoing threat that Hamas poses.
Later in the occupied West Bank, Sullivan spoke with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas on Gaza after the war. The U.S. wants the Palestinian Authority to help govern, a plan Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejects.
There is disagreement about the day after Hamas. I will not allow the entry into Gaza of those who educate for terrorism, support terrorism, and finance terrorism.
Abbas also expressed concern today for Palestinians outside of Gaza, telling Sullivan that the U.S. must, quote, intervene to force Israel to stop its aggression against our people in the West Bank, including occupied Jerusalem. The West Bank has seen an uptick in violence since October 7th, both by extremist Israeli settlers and the IDF, killing at least 287 Palestinians. In the Gaza Strip, the death toll is quickly approaching 20,000. Outside of a hospital in Rafah this morning, mourners, including Yusuf Abed, prayed and wept for victims yet to be identified.
Until now, no one came to confirm their identities. So we hope that someone comes to identify and bury them. We need people to identify their children who are dead, to know where they are from.
He fears there is no one left who could recognize them. The IDF announced this morning it recovered the bodies of 3 Israeli hostages in Gaza, Elia Toledano, taken from the Nova Music Festival, and soldiers Ron Sherman and Nick Beiser. The IDF later reported the death of 3 other hostages by friendly fire, which they're investigating: Samer Talalka, Yotam Chaim, and Alon Shamriz. Also today, the world's largest shipping company, Maersk, said it is pausing all container ship traffic through the Red Sea indefinitely, citing safety concerns. This after repeated missile strikes on commercial vessels by Houthi rebels in Yemen, backed by Iran, who say they're targeting ships headed for Israel. The attacks have renewed concerns that the war could spread into a broader regional conflict.
And that's what America is fearing. I think Prime Minister Benjamin, of course, he got his people that thinks what he's doing is right. But nobody's going to tell me that the open genocide that Israel is doing against Palestine is okay. That's 20,000 people that's already dead. And now y'all are so hindsight and so on you're already going so, how can I say this? That you actually killed your own. That's the point that I want to say. You were so alert and that you couldn't even tell that that was your own people. The people were naked almost with white flags. and you still open fire. An investigation underway after a tragic incident on Friday that saw the Israel Defense Forces shoot and kill 3 Israelis in Gaza who had been taken hostage by the Hamas during their group's October 7 terror attack. And I think the problem is whoever is instructing Biden, Prime Minister Benjamin is not even listening, and America is the one who paying their bills. I would have voted against that doggone military pact for Israel, not because they don't need it, because he's not listening. He's not listening. What the Israel military said happened: 3 men were killed waving a white flag in violation of IDF rules of engagement. An IDF official said on Saturday, white flags has always been a symbol of I give up. Hamas knew it, and even they said it was a violation of the rules. The official who spoke to journalists on the condition of he wanted to be, to speak freely about ongoing investigation, said the trio emerged shirtless, waving their white flag from a building tens of meters away from a group of Israeli soldiers or troops in the Gaza City neighborhood in Shijalia. At least one soldier felt threatened and opened fire. Now that was a scary ass person. 2 other men immediately. The third was wounded and ran back into the building. The Israeli unit overheard a cry for help in Hebrew, at which time the brigade commander ordered his troop to stop shooting. However, there was another burst of gunfire. The third hostage died later. And they need to be in prison. Because if your commander tell you to stop shooting and you still shot, nah, you need to be in prison. Because you're telling me that you're going to kill a Palestinian or a Hamas soldier at will. The arrogance. The Israeli soldiers did not anticipate that they would be approached by hostages, but instead thought they would find them either in the building, in the tunnel, or handcuffed. According to IDF spokesperson Daniel Hagri, he said at a news conference Saturday that Israel's military did not have intelligence about the 3 hostages mistakenly killed, adding, "This is a mistake and a malfunction." No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Y'all are some cowards with guns, and you took people's lives. Shajia has been the scene of fierce fighting in recent days, with Israeli forces confronting ambush attempts and attacks that involve suicide bombers and assailants dressed in civilian clothes, according to the IDF. Hagri broke the news of the incident on Friday, calling it sad and painful incident. Hagri said that IDF assumed the 3 Israelis were killed had either escaped or have been abandoned by the captors due to the fight in the Shajia. The IDF is aware of a building marked SOS a few hundred feet from where the hostages were shot to death. Authorities are investigating if there is a connection between it and the captives who were killed on Friday. What the IDF is doing to prevent similar tragedies. Israeli soldiers in Gaza are now being told to exercise additional caution when encountering people in civilian clothes following the hostages. Additional killing. Jonathan Conruckus, another IDF spokesman, told CNN. What we have told our troops is to take extra vigilant and do more safety check before dealing with the kinetics with any threat that they face on the battlefield. Conruckus said, but it is a very challenging environment that our troops are in. The IDF alleged earlier Friday that Hamas has attempted to use dolls and backpacks with speakers playing sounds of crying of children speaking in Hebrew to lure Israeli soldiers into a trap. All right, let's who were the hostages. All three hostages were young men. Hadam, Hayim, Alam, Shamaris were kidnapped from Kibbutz Kfar Aza, and Samir Talaka was taken near kibbutz near Talaka, 25, was a member of Israel's Badum community and the eldest of 10 children. He lived in the town of Aura and worked with his father and brothers at a chicken hatchery near kibbutz. And I know I butchered all of this. All right. He was taken off his chicken hatchery. On October 7th, he and his father at the chicken hatchery and told his sister in a phone call that he had been injured in the terrorist gunfire until the call disconnected. Ham, 28, was a gifted musician and heavy metal fan. He had played the drums for 20 years and was supposed to perform at the Metal Music Festival in Tel Aviv on October 7th with his band. Yadam last spoke with his family that morning. He told them his house had burned down before losing contact about 10:44. All right. And less is known by Shamaris, but his family, like those of Talaka and him, had spoken publicly about their ordeal. Him's mother, Iris, had told Israel Channel 11 earlier this week she had faith her son would return even without raising her voice at the government. Some people think that if they don't shout, no one will bring their children back. I tell them we can do it peacefully through a respectful dialogue. The children will come back. I have no doubt. So some of Prime Minister's Benjamin critics said the killings are proof that the Israeli government is more concerned about eradicating Hamas than it is freeing the remaining hostages held by the group, the two key goals of the military operating in Gaza. Before news of 3 hostages' deaths broke, 132 captives were believed to still be in Gaza, of whom 112 were thought to be alive. So this is just a sad set of circumstances for everyone. And this is a sad set of circumstances. Anyways, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. Please like, comment, subscribe as we'll be coming to you more videos in the future. And once again, if you're interested in the VPN, you got a link for Surfshock there. Go ahead and get 4 months at a discounted rate of up to 80%. And you can subscribe to this channel, hit the notification bell. And once again, this is Antonio with Team Tiggio. And please subscribe and like this video so we can get into the YouTube universe. And once again, we will see you next.